thanks for checking out the video today. Very excited to install. I finally got these Anzo switchback headlights. The goal for today's video is I'm gonna show you guys step by step without skipping anything on how to put these headlights in. Now, I'm doing this video because if you guys have subscribed and you're familiar with my channel, I did a Raptor grill install video and it's become very popular. And I think it's become so popular because I didn't skip anything. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing with these Anzo headlights today. So here they are. They come in pretty nice padding here. Those are gonna look sick. All right, so let's get into the tools you're gonna need for this install. There's some must-haves and there's a couple right here that are not absolutely necessary, but it's just gonna make the job way easier. Socket wrench, this is a 9/32. Need a 10mm, an 8mm, drill, big long extension, absolutely need to have that. These are the two that you don't absolutely need, but will definitely make the job a lot easier. I'll put links in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing these. All right, first order of business. I marked these with gold just so you can see them a little. It's kind of hard to see it against black, so I marked them with gold. We got 1, 2, 3. So 2 bolts, 1 push pin. I believe this is gonna be the 10mm. Yep. So that's gonna be your 10mm. We'll get these off and move on to the next step. All right, this is where this tool comes into play. It's really nice to have this. These are annoying if you break. You can get it out with a screwdriver, but sometimes you end up breaking these and they're actually semi-expensive to get from Ford. But how you use this tool, if you're not familiar, there's like a little opening. You can see right here. There's a little opening. Stick it in here, lift it up. The whole tab comes out nice and easy. This comes off. Use your little pry tool. Boom. And now you have the whole piece intact without breaking anything with a screwdriver. So it's a nice thing to have. All right, now we're gonna get to the wheel well area. There's 2 bolts. This is when you're gonna use your 9/32. All right, so these 2 bolts are out. Now we're gonna pry this piece so we can get access to the headlight unit. This is where having this tool is really nice. It's plastic, so it's not gonna damage the paint. Again, if you use something like a screwdriver, you're gonna just scuff this up and get it all nasty. So definitely get something like this to help you out. All right, so gently get it in here. Kind of gently work this into these crevices. Give it some gentle pressure. And you'll feel eventually, so there's gonna be, I can feel it, there's a bolt right here, or a push pin rather. Another one right here. All right, now, you can come around here. You can see where those push pins are? Just gonna gently push this. Try to get underneath. And then those will come out. Take that out. Take that out. Then you can see this goes back in right here. Boom. And then where this goes back in right here, good to go. All right, so once we remove these bolts and we push, or pull rather, this piece out, it's gonna expose another little push pin right here. So we're gonna wanna get rid of this also. Here's your tool. All set. All right, so now that we kind of removed this, this piece right here, we're gonna remove this plastic trim, gentle pressure from underneath. Try to get that out of your way. That whole piece should come off. Not too bad. Just some gentle pressure, pull up a little bit, and the whole unit should come out. All right, so this is gonna expose a bunch of bolts that we need to remove. These are all 10mm with the exception of this one right here. This is gonna be our 8mm. So let's get these out of here. All right, let's get rid of these bolts. Start over here. There's one actually right here. So, and this last one's gonna be your 8mm. All right, so this is where this extension is absolutely necessary. You can see I marked this bolt, it's deep inside. I marked this bolt with a white marker so you can see exactly where it's at. That's gonna be the last 10mm we need to get rid of before we can take the whole unit out. Be careful with this one. There's a good chance I'm gonna drop it. Let's see if I don't. I'm gonna try to go slow. There we go. Money. All right, so we got all of our bolts removed. I forgot to mention you are gonna need some pliers, like a pair of needle nose pliers. There's a little, probably see it, zoom in. There's a little tab right here. All right, so what you gotta do, get in here, squeeze, let go. All right, so once you use those needle nose pliers and you pinch that pin, there's gonna be two little tabs that you gotta get. One's right here, I don't know if you can see it, and you're gonna take your little tool here and push, and then the other one is gonna be right here. Okay, so you're gonna just get your tool, give it a little push, and it should come out. And you can see right here, see these pins? That's what you're pushing in. You're pushing that in, and then you're pushing that in. And it's gonna clear these little holes right here. Here is what you need to squeeze. And once you squeeze this, it will release it. This can be a little tricky. Just get a nice pair of needle nose pliers and squeeze and pull, and the whole unit should come out. All right, so we removed this plastic piece. Now we're gonna take out the whole headlight. The only thing that's holding it in right now really is this little tab that I marked in gold. So just lift up the whole light and get that out of that little bracket. And then you're gonna start removing the factory light bulbs. So just take a half turn, pull that out. Then you're just going to use some gentle pressure. Push, pull, kind of pull the light towards you, and then go like this. So after you pull out this first bulb, there's like a little like plastic piece. You can see I'm just going to remove it right now. This little plastic piece right here just has some teeth on it, and it attaches right here, but it just pops out real easy. Just take that and it'll break free. So now we're going to start removing the factory bulbs. One right here. One right here. And we're clear. This bulb happened to come out with the whole harness here, so just take that bulb out. So now we got 3 harnesses, no bulbs. That's what you want. All right, so we got our light out. Let's put the new one in. Okay, so I have the black ground wire here, the brown direction. The black wire is going to attach to the black and yellow wire found here on this harness. The brown wire is going to be spliced to the yellow and brown wire here. Just in case these wires are different colors for you guys, just know that it doesn't matter what color the wires are, that the black ground wire on the Anzo headlight is going to go on this side. You can see it has a tab and it's flat across. The brown wire, which is marked with the direction, is going to go on this rounded side attached to the yellow and brown striped wire. You may have to cut, I had to cut this back a little bit, not cut it back, but pull it back a little bit to give yourself a little bit of room to work. Just be super careful when you cut into this, if you cut into this, just to not hit this wire. So just be careful, pull it back a little bit. I just had to pull it back just to give yourself a little more room to work with. And then you can start splicing. All right, so let's splice these wires together. I'm using these little wire connectors that came with the kit. You're just gonna slide this in here. Put this through here. All right. Now what I like to do is I like to push down. Just use my thumb. I push down on this. All right, so it's at this point in the install that I started to realize that I may have a defective pair of Scotch lock wire connectors. If you look at the arrow, you can kind of see that there's an opening in these Scotch locks that really shouldn't be there. I wasn't 100% sure if this was the case. When I looked at them, they looked a little funny. But your Scotch locks, they're only supposed to have one side where the wire can completely go through, and then the other side, the wire should only go halfway through, just past that that metal tooth that bites into both of them. This is what it should look like, and this is more or less what mine looked like. So really, these Scotch locks are designed to only allow one wire to pass through, and the other wire should be sealed up. Like that plastic piece in the back here doesn't have an opening, or it shouldn't have an opening. I just got very unlucky. I looked at some of the reviews and I couldn't find anyone that had a defective pair of Scotch locks. I was just the unlucky guy that had them. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't skip anything. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I wanted to show you guys exactly what's up, just in case you run into this problem. Highly doubt you will, but this is what it should look like. So the black wire would be the existing wire that's in the vehicle, coming out of the vehicle. And that red wire, just for, conversational purposes, that red wire would be the wire coming from the Anzo headlight. It shouldn't be able to pass through the Scotch lock. It should only go about halfway through
just past that metal tab, and then you should clamp both of them together, and that's what it should look like, just so everybody knows.
All right, so we get our black ground wire attached to the black and yellow. Now let's attach the brown direction wire to the yellow and brown. Push this through here.
All right, so you can kind of see right here with the green arrow, you can see the little bit of the wire sticking through the defective Scotch lock. What I did was, it wasn't really a big deal. I just took some liquid electrical tape and just put a dab of it on there so it sealed up the wire so it was completely waterproof. Like I said, I highly doubt that anyone would run into this issue, but I just want to show you guys, just so there's no confusion, you really shouldn't see that wire sticking out at all. There should be a cover. It should all be blue, and you shouldn't be able to stick it through at all. But just wanted to show you guys what I did in case you're confused by how this looks on your own install. Same story here. I was able to push the Anzo, the wire all the way through. I shouldn't be able to do that with a Scotch lock, but really not a big deal. I just pushed it through and I cut it basically so it's identical to the one you see on the left. I went back, cut it, and just put a little bit of liquid electrical tape at the end just to seal it all off. So this really isn't going to have an effect on the headlights at all. I just had to make a quick little pivot and adapt. So not a big deal. So this install is virtually identical, passenger side to driver's side, so I'm not showing both sides of the install just to avoid being redundant and the video being way too long. But I at least wanted to show you guys there is a slight difference in the wiring harness on the driver's side. This black ground wire coming from the Anzo headlight is the exact same. It still is going to be spliced to the black and yellow, which is the exact same scene on the passenger, but for whatever reason Ford has a slightly different wire on the other side. It's like a darker blue with a light green stripe through it, and that's going to be attached to the brown wire you see there. But yeah, slight difference in the wiring. Just figured I'd share that real quick.
All right, so we have our wires spliced. We're gonna plug this back in. This one goes right here. All right, so now I'm gonna just kind of push it in a little bit. I'm gonna turn on the vehicle and make sure that the wiring is good. What I would suggest doing is using that tab that we talked about earlier. So just kind of fix it up on here, and that will keep it secure for the test. The lights are working, we got a good connection, so we are good to go and button this bad boy back up again. All right, the headlight's back in. Now it's just a matter of putting in reverse order the bolts we put in. We're going to start with the 10mm. Quick little tip for this part, I like to put in, just to get the alignment right, I like to put in this bolt first, so like the very first bolt over here. So I like to put this one in first and then put the 8mm, which is over here, in second. That way it's just kind of lines everything up, and then you can start putting all the rest of the bolts in and it's all gonna fit real nice. You're gonna be able to find the holes real easy. So there's a little plastic piece under here that it kind of drops down. If you can't see this bolt through this hole, there's another 10mm. You can just push it up through the wheel well. My hand's just underneath the bumper. I'm just pushing it up slightly just to reveal it, just in case you have issues seeing that. We got all of our bolts in from this lower plastic portion. Now we can put this piece back in. Start from the back. And that goes in surprisingly easy. All right, so now we're gonna do our push pin and our 2 bolts that we started with. All right, so before you push this trim piece in, don't forget about the tab on the other side. There's this little push pin right here that kind of finalizes the attachment to this plastic piece. So make sure you push that push pin in first, then you can push the trim piece in. I would put your thumbs kind of behind these. There we go. Now these last 2 bolts and we should be good to go.
Ooh, baby. Damn, those are sick. Yeah, these just look awesome. And I haven't even really seen them at night yet, but they look so nice. And that's why I like the Anzos. They look factory. Like, that looks like how it should have came from the factory. And you can kind of see side by side. That's the stock. Anzo over here, obviously. But I mean, come on. It just looks so mean. Hell yeah. And just an FYI, real quick, this is going to be your low beam adjustment if you need to adjust it. Clockwise is down, counterclockwise is up, and it just takes a simple Phillips head screwdriver. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the step-by-step install of the Gen 2 Anzo switchback headlights for the F-150. These are incredible. They're the best upgrade I've done thus far to my F-150. Super, super aggressive look. As soon as I put them in, I started getting compliments almost immediately on my F-150. But yeah, these are awesome. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you liked today's video, smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and enjoy.